Auditing Manafi. My number matric card is 267682. This is our topic from our group is from topic 6, audit of properties, plant and equipment cycles. Our chosen company is Kin Holdings Berhad. Firstly, introductions. Properties, plants and equipment include all intangible assets with their useful life are more than 1 year that are used in the operations of the business that are not for their research purpose. PPE also known as non-current asset, and it also for more than 1 year's accounting periods. There are 3 main subgroups that are widely ignored in PPE. First is land, such as property used in running of a company, has substantial characteristics that is not subject to depreciations. Second, the buildings, machineries, equipment and land improvements such as plants and parking lots have a limit, useful life and subject to the depreciation. The third one is natural resources such as oil fields, oil millings and forests are subject to degradation, hence natural resources are invested and disposed of. The fixed asset represents a sufficient proportion of the total asset of the service organization, so the audit must be pay more attention to the transactions related to the fixed asset when auditing them. Kin Holdings Berhad, our chosen company. Kin Holdings Berhad is established in 1961. The founders of the Kin Holdings Berhad were Cheng Kim Fa, who begins a small company in Shenzhen, selling electrical products and has been expanded to become the largest manufacturing facility in the Sekiang, Selangor. The company is listed on the KSCE on the 12th August 1998. They have widely across the nation and export to the abroad more than 50 countries. Has the one of the most popular homegrown electrical home appliances manufacturers in Malaysia and abroad. Their selling product that includes a wide range of the general fans and the small kitchen appliances under the Kings and Mayors brands, as well as the air moving home market appliance under the Mistral's name. Its fundamental knowledge and expertise in the electrical product as well as the environmental product and the service facilities the delivery of the highest engineering industrial electricals and the environmental appliance to major commercial customers in the manufacturing and the service industry. Next.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Nur Sabrina Kamila binti Muhammad Zain, 267553. I will continue about the nature of PPE. So, what is PPE? MFRS 116 Property, Plant and Equipment defined as tangible items that are held for use in the production or supply of goods or services, foreign to other or administrative purpose, and are expected to be used during more than one period. This is the list of PPE for Kin Holdings Berhad. The first one is freehold land. Second is long-term leasehold land. Third is office and factory building, plant and machinery, tools and molds, furniture, fitting and office equipment, motor vehicle renovation and construction in progress. Next, we continue to the audit objective and control. Audit objective is a broad statement developed by auditors and define intended audit accomplishment. It is very important to make sure that all assets are recorded in a financial statement is accurate. So there are 3 types of audit objective and control. The first one is transaction and control objective. The second is balances objective, and the third one is presentation and disclosure objective. Okay, we go to one by one for the details. Okay, the first Okay, the first audit objective is transaction and control objective. It have 5 points. The first one is occurrence. Recorded addition represent PPE acquired during the period under audit. And recorded disposal represent PPE sold or scrapped during the period under audit. The second one is completeness, where all addition and disposal that occurred during the period have been recorded. The third one is cut off. Addition and disposal of PPE before the period end are recorded in the current period, and those after the period are included in the next accounting period. The fourth is classification, where addition and disposal of PPE are recorded in the correct account. And the last is accuracy, where addition and disposal are correctly journalized and posted. The second objective is balance objective. It has 4 points. The first one is existent, where recorded PPE asset represent productive assets that are used at the end of the reporting period. Second is right and obligation, where the entity owns or has the right to all recorded PPE at the end of the reporting period. The third one is completeness. Non-current asset balances include all applicable assets used in operation at the end of the reporting period. The fourth is valuation and allocation, where the PPE are stated at cost or a valuation less accumulated depreciation. And the third objective are presentation and disclosure objective. It has 4 points. The first one is occurrence and right and obligation, where disclosure PPE transaction have occurred and pertain to the entity. Second is completeness, where disclosure as to cost or valuation, depreciation method and useful life, the pledging as collateral, and the major term of finance, lease contract or PPE are adequate. The third one is classification and understandability. The details of addition and disposal of PPE support their classification and disclosure in the financial statement. And the last one is accuracy and valuation, where the PPE transactions are disclosed accurately and at appropriate amount. So that's all from me. I will pass to my friend.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Wazira Amira binti Hamid Hamzah with metric number 267685. And today I will present about measurement and recognition of PPE. Okay, according to MFRS 116, there are two conditions for the cost of PPE should be recognized as an asset. First, it is probable that the future economic benefit associated with the item will flow to the entity. Second, the cost of an item can be measured reliably. Okay, an auditor should ensure that the cost of PPE will fall within these two conditions right here. And there are several elements of cost. Okay, they are first the purchase price. The purchase price, including the import duties and non-refundable purchase taxes after deducting trade discount and rebate. Second, any cost directly attributable to bringing the asset to the location and condition necessary for it to be capable of operating in the manner intended by the management. And the third one is the initial estimate of the cost of dismantling and removing the item and restoring the site on which it is located. The obligation for which an entity incurs either when the item is acquired or as a consequence of having used the item during a particular period for purpose other than to produce inventory during that period. Okay, these are the cost attributable cost that should be capitalized. They are architect fees, delivery fees, installation costs, import duties, and professional fees. Okay, let's move it on to the King Holdings Berhad. Okay, in their annual report 2019, they stated that all their PPE items are measured at cost and less any accumulated depreciation and accumulated impairment loss. Okay, they also stated that for their qualified properties, the borrowing costs are capitalized in compliance with the borrowing accounting standards or frameworks. Okay, in their 2019 annual report also stated that King Holdings Berhad had purchased software during that year, and the software is integral part of its functionality of the related equipment, and they capitalize the item as part of it. And also, they stated that if the significant part of the PPE has different useful life from the major compartment, they will separate or treated them separate from the major compartment. And lastly, for the gain and losses, it stated that they compare the proceed from the disposal of PPE with the carrying amount, and then they will recognize the net as other income or other expenses in their profit or loss. Okay, I think that's all from me, and I will pass this presentation to the next presenter. Thank you.
Hi, good day to everyone. My name is Tarshni Ramo. My metric number is 264139. I would like to continue about developing the audit plan in auditing of property, plant, and equipment. The audit procedures for property, plant, and equipment. It is really important to perform proper audit procedures for fixed assets in order to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence. There is inherent risk on PPE, and auditors should be more concerned about these items during the audit. External auditors of most manufacturing organizations usually scope in PPE as a risk area during their annual audit due to its materiality. A combination of control testing and substantive testing is usually adopted when obtaining audit assurance on PPE. An appropriate audit strategy considering all the factors such as materiality and inherent risk is required. Materiality can be defined as the big amount found in financial statements. It is applied at the planning stage and evaluates the effect of identified misstatements of the audit when performing the audit and of uncorrected misstatements of the financial statements by auditors. In Keen Holdings Berhad, a materiality assessment was conducted with the Sustainability Management Working Team to identify and assess economic, environmental, and social matters of the group. The materiality assessment considers material sustainability matters, influences the assessment and decision of the group stakeholders, and replicates the group's significant economic, environmental, and social matters. And also Kin considers the impact of their business, how sustainability matters affect the long-term value of Kin's business, and how concerned stakeholders are pertaining to the sustainability matters in question. Their stakeholders include, amongst others, customers and dealers, employees, suppliers, local communities, as well as the government agencies, authorities, and regulators. Inherent risk in a financial audit, inherent risk is most likely to occur when situations that require a high degree of judgment in regard to financial estimates. This type of risk characterizes a worst case state because all internal controls in place have nevertheless been ineffective. Auditors must look for the inherent risk when reviewing financial statements along with control risk and detection risk. When an auditor conducts an audit or analyzing a business, the auditor or analyst tries to gain an understanding of the nature of business while examining control risk and inherent risk. The auditor also must consider the inherent risk at the transaction level, which is the susceptibility to misappropriation during recognition of PPE. An auditor needs to make sure the client has capitalized all costs relating to the purchase or continuing use of fixed assets to record the correct cost basis. Okay, finally, plant register. Plant register often maintain a plant register as a subsidiary ledger detailing individual items of plant and equipment. In auditing, control over maintenance of the register is more important for the assets misappropriation mainly by the clients. Auditors may not need to physically inspect and provide evidence of existence for the assets at the end of the reporting period if the regular checking takes place. There is no plant register disclosure disclosed in the annual report of Kin Holding Berhad, so we provide the example format of plant register here. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, my friend. Okay, substantive procedure for property, plant, and equipment. So there are several reasons we do a substantive procedure for property, plant, and equipment, which is it is to be conduct which are designed to reduce risk of misstatement in PPE balance, and then to test of details, usually used by the auditor to gather enough and appropriate evidence that will substantiate a financial statement figure. So next is there are four tests of detail. First, test of details of transaction. So the this test is performed by the auditor to address whether particular types of transaction have have been properly recorded and accounted during the period. For example, the auditor must check all document or purchase record regarding PPE. And then second test of detail is test of detail of account balance. This test is focused on whether there are misstatements in the in the opening or ending balance of the account. For example, recalculating bank reconciliation and obtaining bank confirmation for bank balances regarding PPE. And third, test of details of presentation and disclosure. So basically, this test is details of presentation and disclosure, how it shows whether financial statements are properly presented in a financial statement or not. Um, so, for example, inspection of record for evidence of machinery that so that management can claim that the entity owns those machinery and are valued accurately in accordance with the measurement basis. And last is analytical procedure. Analytical procedure is a financial operation information include as analytical procedure evaluation to see if historical relationship are continuing forward into the period under review. So if not, it can imply that the client's financial records are possibly due to error or fraudulent report activity. And then we look into the possible substantive procedure for property, plant and equipment. So we take a look for at completeness. So substantive procedure. First, select a sample PPE from observation and trace the PPE register. We will check, auditor will check PPE addition to sales and purchase agreement, and then check regarding disposal minutes meeting with both of director. So there's a completeness for existence. Select sample PPE, register and perform a physical inspection. We look we look PPE. For example, we look the land by our own eyes. So and then next is rights and obligation. So this is depending on type of the PPE. If freehold land and building, inspect title. Motor vehicle, inspect vehicle registration document. Leasehold, kita will inspect lease agreement. If other PPE, we inspect purchase invoice. For evaluation, scientist procedure, PPE need to be properly valued at lower cost or market. So the addition PIP cost to purchase documentation and then need to check depreciation, calculate correctly, and then whether the profit or loss on PPE is disclosed properly. This is for disposal, gain or loss. And then check whether the valuation expressed and independent if PPE has been revalued. For example, if the valuer is value if we want to value property from for KL, for example, we want to value property from KL and the valuer is from Sarawak. So this is something wrong, which if the valuer want to value at KL, so it must be around, valuer must be around that area. And then presentation and disclosure determine that PPE asset and related expense, gains and losses are properly identified and classified in the financial statement. So we will show that disclosure appropriate disclosure pertaining to cost, value, depreciation method, and useful life. And auditor will inspect accounting policy use including depreciation methods and rates. And then auditor will inspect details of movement of cost and accumulated depreciation during the year. So next, I pass to my friends.
Okay, our last slide is conclusions. The PPE audit cycle is an independent analysis and assessment of the PPE cycles of the company to ensure that the documents are fair and reliable. PPE is one of the most essential things in organization that is made the business work. Auditor need to inspect additions and check the balance in the records balance verifies PPE. Mostly the case transactions involving the PPE do not frequently occur, and where material is usually treated with a special treatment. Hence, auditors prefer to adopt the predominantly substitutes approach to controls over the non-current asset transactions. The nature and variations of assertions are the key issue of the PPE audit. Audit assurance on the PPE within the scope of the MFRS 116. Auditor adopt combinations of the control testing and substantive testing. The factors of the appropriate audit strategy in delivered audit plans include materialities, inherent risks, and also plans registered. Lastly, auditor is essentially to avoid mistakes in the company documents and accounts. We also know that the company financial statement need to be reliable and to reflect the correct facts for the owners, customer, creditors, and others to make the decisions. The auditor must also able to determine the possibility of the material misstatements in the financial reports of the company. That's all from us. Thank you.